Last year, I didn't think I would be speaking that early. I agree, I've raised this issue on a number of occasions, and as, like other members, and the whole issue from a European point of view in relation to what's happening in the Middle East and the roads that we are now going down. And I mean, if you look at the way Europe has developed over the last 50 years, we've gone, you can now travel from the Dingle Peninsula literally up until the Ukraine issue arose to the Russian border about a conflict. Therefore, the whole arms trade and the big powers were not making any money out of Europe from the point of view of the fact that there was no conflict. Then the need for the use of arms wasn't there. We now have across the globe two major conflicts where arms and ammunitions are the key issues involved, and the supply of them. We have Ukraine, and we have in Gaza, Israel and its attack there. And I'm just concerned that we're not making enough effort at European level. Yes, I think Ireland is, but I'm disappointed in that our other member states within the European Union are not coming on board as regards how we can work together to bring and restore peace. And, I'm also concerned about the way we have the international community, and I would be talking about the major powers, the states that do have the real power, not taking any action to restrict what Israel can do. And this goes back to, and I referred to it earlier yesterday, about the fact that if you go back to 2009, about the fact that Israel was allowed to use white phosphorus, which is when a person is hit by it, it burns not just the skin but right into the bone. And likewise they use cluster munitions, and cluster munitions are the same as what the IRA used in Northern Ireland, in that once a cluster munition blows up, it can, if you explode one over a playing area, a playing field, it will probably hit anyone, no matter what part of the playing area they're in. And after 2009, the international community did nothing about what was a breach of international law on this area. And this now seems to have, again in 2004, Israel breached the rules in relation to warfare. Likewise here now, what's happening at the moment is just outrageous in the sense that there are so many innocent people being killed. But it's about European level. We've made huge strides across Europe over the last 56 years about peace and about working together. And people who had totally different views 70 years ago, pre-World War II, suddenly found that by working together they could achieve a huge amount. And if you look at the progress that we've made in Europe in a whole range of areas, in relation to healthcare, in relation to social care, in relation to education, we've made huge strides in that 70 years in every country that's in the European Union. And yet we have countries now in the Middle East who are at a standstill. And I suppose when you look at the particular problem in Gaza, where it's a block of land, as I say, in Cork terms, it's Cork to Youghal, 21 kilometres long, 10 kilometres wide, with 2.1 million people, and we go and we move everyone over the last 4 months from where they were living to total new locations without any supports. And we need now to look at, from a European point of view, like what can be done from an Irish point of view about bringing other countries on board and looking at this in the same way as we do. And I actually think one of the problems that we have here in Ireland at the moment is about, we need to get out more information about the work that our diplomatic corps are doing, and they are doing a huge amount of work, both at a level in Brussels, at European level, and also at UN level. And having been in Brussels for a short period of time back in 2007, 2009, I very much knew, and in fact I suppose the evidence of that was the fact that we had quite a number of Irish people who came up the ranks in the European secretariats in the whole, the governmental system within Brussels came up over the years and are quite influential. And I think we need to use that influence as regards Europe taking a united stand on how we deal with this conflict. We have taken a united stand in real terms in relation to Ukraine, but we seem to have a problem in taking it in relation to Israel. And I think that's a huge mistake by other European countries. We need to work to find a solution to stop the killing of innocent women and children and men as well, who are very innocent. As I said, I was there in 2009. I met the people back there who suffered huge, consequences of what occurred in a 22-day period. There was over 1,400 people killed there in 2008, 2009, and that occurred during the changeover of the American president. The outgoing president didn't have the power to intervene. The incoming president was not in power. So between 27th of December 2008 and 18th of January, Israel used it as an opportunity. Likewise, they're now using it as an opportunity as regards, literally, they want the 2.1 million people to move to a totally new territory. They really want, it appears that's the clear message that now appears to be getting out there. We want to have this no longer a problem on our borders. And I suppose the other issue that's arising in relation to the West Bank, which incorporates East Jerusalem, over 350 people have been killed there in the last number of weeks. The vast majority of them were by Israeli soldiers. Quite a number of them were actually children. And yet there is no call to answer on the Israeli government for those killings. And we've got to work with our European colleagues, but we also got to send out a message here at home about the efforts, and we have a fantastic diplomatic service. We've got to get the message out there about the work that's been done behind the scenes so that we can get other countries on board. And I suppose one of the countries that we really need to try and get on board is America, because that's where a lot of the arms are coming from, and the influence that America has over Israel, and unfortunately it's not being used at the moment. And therefore, as a result, we have now over 25,000 people dead. As I said yesterday, in 2009, it was one Israeli for every 100 Palestinians killed. If we apply the same rule now, does this mean, and I condemn what occurred on the 7th of October, does it mean with 1,200 people killed, do we have to wait until we have 120,000 people dead before it will come to an end? So I think, Minister, thank you for the work you are doing, but I would think that with the more work we can do to get our European colleagues on side, then we can put Ireland in a very strong position in dealing with this matter. Thank you.